In this video, we'll talk about encapsulation. So we'll divide the video into two parts. I mean, not the videos, but the topic. In the first part of the video, we'll talk about what is encapsulation. In the second part of the video, we'll talk about why do we need it. So encapsulation basically means is you'll be having a class, and let's say this class is student. In this class, so normally what happens is object knows something, object does something, right? And we have seen that from a long time. So object knows something with the help of variables. Object does something with the help of methods. So whenever you create any variable, let's say we have roll number and we have name, we have to make sure that those variable data, so those variables need to only be changed or fetched with the help of methods. So if you want to do anything with the variables, you have to use methods. Okay, example, if you want to set the value of the roll number, what we can normally do is we can create the object of student. We can say student s1 equal to new student, and we'll say s1 dot roll number is equal to 2, and we can say s1 dot name is equal to, let's say, Naveen. So when you're assigning the value of s1, roll number 2 and Naveen, so we are trying to access that from main method. So it is not right. So the only way to access the roll number and name should be through methods. So normally those methods are basically called as getters and setters. You know what exactly it is? So to set the value, we have to use setters, and to get the value, we have to use getters. Example, so let's say I want to set the value for roll number. I will say public void. Since I want to set the value, I will use the method name as set roll number. We have to make sure that R is capital, and we'll accept a roll number there. We'll say roll number, or we can also say R. And now I can say roll number is equal to R. So we are assigning the value of R to roll number. That is one way. How to fetch the value of roll number? So we'll say public. Now since we want to fetch, we'll return int, and we'll say get roll number. And now this will not accept any value, right? But this will return a value. It will return a roll number. And now if you want to access that, we have to say s1 dot set roll number by specifying 2. So we are not assigning the value directly, right? We are assigning the value through a method. That means the only way to use the variables is through a method. And we can also fetch it now. So let's say, let me fetch the value. I will say s1 dot get roll number. So instead of saying s1 dot roll number, I'm saying s1 dot get roll number. And if I run this code, you can say it will work. So you got 2. So the only way to access the variables is through methods. And since you're accessing the data through methods, we can also make these variables as private. So you have to make sure that your variables are always private. So variables should be private, and the methods who will access those variables should be public. That means you are binding your data with the methods. And whenever you bind your data with methods, the concept is called as encapsulation. So the concept of encapsulation is, it is binding data with method. So it is binding data with methods. So we have a data here and we have some methods here. So the only way to access the variables is through methods. But we have done that for roll number, right? We have not done that for name. The thing is, if I do this for names, I have to type it, right? But encapsulation is so famous, you can simply ask your Eclipse to give it for you. So you have to right click, you have to say source, you have to click on generate getters and setters. Can you see that? And select both the variables and click on OK, as we have seen in the constructors. So you can see it is giving you both the methods here, get roll number and set roll number, and get name and set name. And we have also seen how to use this keyword, right? So you know about that. So instead of assigning the value now, so you can see we are getting error on this line because we have made name as private field, right? So if you see this, it is giving you an error which is student.name is not visible. So what we can do here is we cannot use name now. We can say dot set name, and we can pass the name there. So that's how it works. If I run this code, we got 2 because we are printing only the roll number. Let's also print the name. We'll say get name, and if you run this code, we got roll number and name both. So this is how you can use your getters and setters, and this is encapsulation. So that was the first part. The second part we have to talk about is why we need it. The need for encapsulation is we have to make sure that your data is safe, right? So this data needs to be safe. See, if I want to assign the value, if you want to assign the value to roll number, the only way is with the help of methods, right? We have to use set roll number, Now let's say if you make it, if you make this variable as public, anyone can access the variable, right? What we want is, even if people are trying to change the value, I can simply print a log file, right? I can simply maintain a log file. We can say value of roll number change. I can maintain a log file, because when you talk about server level programming, we always maintain a log file. If you run this code now, it is assigning a new value, but it is also printing value of roll number change. At least you can maintain a log file. So you can do that with methods, right? You cannot do that directly with variables. If I say s1.name equal to Naveen, and if I have a public variable there, no, I mean, how can I maintain a log file? Changing the values of the variable or fetching the value of the variable, you can also maintain a log file that user have just fetched the value. We can simply say user is accessing the value. At least it will maintain a log file for you. You can see that it is saying that user is accessing the value. So you can maintain a log file here. Okay, that is one use. Second use is, before fetching the value of roll number, you can also check for the login of the user, if user is already logged in the system. How can you do that? In this code, you can write those statements. So it's always better to access the variable with the help of methods, because that's the only way you should be able to access your variables. You have to make sure that your variables are private, and you need to have getters and setters who will access those variables. So that's it. That's about encapsulation. That's it about this video.